now we go to Larry Sparano, longtime anchor down at Fox 40 News in Binghamton. Hey, Larry, how are you?
Hey Kent, good morning. I'm not sure you're going to like what I'm going to say about Don
Uh-oh.
Lemon.
What are you going to say?
He's a truculent, arrogant, pompous child
Ooh.
and a propagandist. Look, Kent, if he were even-handed and criticized the Democrats even once in a while, I might say, okay, he's trying to call it as it is. He's all one-sided. CNN is an echo chamber for the liberals. Fox is an echo chamber for the conservatives. What we need are people, reporters and analysts who play it down the middle objectively and not play favorites and filter the news according to their own
But
personal
what
political
about
biases.
what about what he said? I mean, what about the content of what he said this morning? Was there anything incorrect about that?
Yeah, well, a lot of it was exaggerated on one side. Now, I agree with him. Most of what he said about Trump is
Right,
true. Most of
right.
what he said. However, how much credence can you take in him generally when he has that filter just seeing one side? A lot of the stuff that he says is way off. A lot of his stuff is not properly researched. A lot of it just can't from his political side. And that's the way it is with all these networks now. And I don't know
No,
what
but
they're
I
talking.
think,
I
but
don't know what they're
La-
talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Larry, I think you're caught up in the false equivalency, both sides, conundrum that the media is finally, I think, getting around. In other words, there's not a lot of positive stuff to say about Trump.
Okay.
Case closed.
And, no, case is open.
All right, what?
Governor Andrew Cuomo. He's become now the darling of the left. They're talking about running him for president to replace Biden, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. How compassionate was Cuomo in issuing an order to first responders not to resuscitate when they arrived on a scene? A guy had a heart attack. If the heart was stopped, then don't even try to resuscitate. He since rescinded it because of the outrage but by the first responders themselves. How about him emptying the hospitals of elderly patients who were fragile and putting them back into nursing homes to make way for COVID COVID victims in the hospitals? And those nursing homes had a whole wave of deaths because he put these elderly patients who were at risk back into nursing homes. How compassionate was that? And I can go on and on. So what I'm saying is, yeah, Trump clearly lacks compassion. It's all driven politically. But the difference is that he is more blatant about it, more obvious about it. The other side does the same thing, and they cover it, and they're given a pass by every other media outlet that's not Fox. And again, I'm saying Fox is bad news itself, but the other side is just as bad, but it's more in disguise.
But I mean, do you feel that? What about this? His argument that the press has been treating Trump with kid gloves and not hasn't really figured out how to cover him.
That's another thing that I don't understand what he's talking about. The reporters during the press conference and all that, they get aggressive and they ask him questions, and Trump shuts them down unfairly. But they can't be argumentative at a press conference. That's not their role. You ask these questions, you challenge them if you can, but you don't become a propagandist at a press conference. The commentators on the liberal media are all over Trump all the time. So I don't know what he means about how they're not calling Trump on the carpet. They're calling him on the carpet all the time, daily, incessantly, 24/7. What are they talking about?
Yeah, I hear you. All right, sir, we'll have to disagree on this one.
All right. It's best when we disagree.
All
I
right.
think it's much more interesting.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, Ken.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.